Sometimes ago, some years back, I used to be a mother of two children, a boy and a girl. And we attended a particular church, well-known church. It's a very well-known church in Nigeria here. And I used to be the Bible study teacher in the church. My husband was not really a worker in church, but I was a Bible study leader in church.
Okay, so what's the name of the church?
Mountain of Fire. It's a Mountain of Fire church in Ogun State. So along the line, our choir mistress, her husband, our choir mistress husband also used to be a floor member. He just though most times the church workers always try to push him to join some workforce in church, but he's a reserved person. On one very day, he spoke to me, greeted me in church, and I greeted him. We exchanged pleasantries. But from there, we exchanged numbers and we started talking. I got to find out that the choir mistress family were the ones sponsoring the marriage. They own most of the money they spend, and even the car that the man drive, because the man had no job. It was the wife's family that sponsors everything in the house, including how they feed and the children's school fees. But along the line, I and the man got talking and we fell in love. We started talking and we got to love each other. And I started seeing faults in my own husband. I never loved my husband as I used to love him anymore. But I didn't know what to do. I had to play along, and she was also giving me money, and I was comfortable with him also. So I had to play along.
But you say you don't have money. Where is he getting the money that he's giving you?
Yeah, he always get the money from his wife's family. At that time, his wife's family gave him a particular position in the company then, so he was always getting most of the money from them. So along the line, the church got to find out that we were dating. The wife reported to the church, and they summoned
Okay,
us.
come close like this. Okay.
They summoned us, and they started questioning us. We tried at the beginning. We tried hiding it, but along the line, it was glaring. It was obvious. Everybody got to find out, so we just decided to make it open. My husband came to church. He begged, cried, and the church members should intervene. But there was nothing they could do because I was already made up my mind. I was already in love with him, and we have heard it started happening, so I could not. So along the line, the church came ahead. They came into the matter and they tried to talk me in. There was nothing for me to do anymore because I was already having with him. We were entangled already. There was nothing I could do. I had to tell them I was already in love with him. Because truly, I was already in love with him.
You and the man has
Yes.
been knacking.
Yes, we started having demand. We always make love practically almost every day. The church came to intervene and they tried their best to cut this whole relationship, but we were adamant and we said no. We loved each other. At that point, he came up and said I was God's will for him, and he had prayed about it, and God said we should go ahead. And I believe that
God shares. Who has prayed over it?
the choir mistress husband said he has prayed over it, and he believes that God is God's will for us to be married. That the first person he got married to was not never God's will in the first place. That I am God's will for him. That he had prayed over it and he saw me in the dream and he believed that I am God's will for him. So we went ahead. He decided that he was going to leave his wife, so he packed away from his wife. Meanwhile, his wife has 4 kids for him.
And you have how many kids for your husband?
2 kids, a boy and a girl. His wife has 4 kids for him. At that period, she was carrying their last born, still carrying the last born. She was not working yet, as the last child was not yet working. So we moved away from the house. He moved away from his wife's house, and I also moved away from my husband's house. Then
He left his wife with 4 children.
Yes, he did. Then I also left my own husband with the 2 children. I took one for the child and I dropped one for my husband. So we got married. I and this man, we got married. We did.
You people did wedding?
Yes, we did the wedding. We got married and we rented an apartment. We were staying together. Along the line, he said God called him and he wants to start up a church of his own. That he wants to receive the call of God over his life. So we started a church on our own. The church was going on. Along the one very day, my husband came and with his family members to take the child with me. After much struggling and quarreling, and
Which of your husband?
My first husband.
Okay, your first husband.
Yes, he came to take the child that I left him with.
Okay.
After much quarreling and fighting, he took the child from me. I was not able to. The family members came with full force to collect the child from me. So we were left alone with no children, all by ourselves to start over again. We were praying for the fruit of the womb. I was not taking in. I tried, we prayed, we did everything, tried all we could do, but I was not taking in. His job was still going on, the money was still there. I was enjoying my life. As at that time, everything I needed, he always gave me. This man loved me even more than I thought I would imagine. Along the line, one very fateful day, he had issues at his place of work, and they sacked him. All we had crumbled. All the money we had just went at the twinkle of an eye. There was nothing. But I decided to stick to him even after everything because I loved him. I truly do love him as at that time. So while we were together, we had child. I was pregnant for a child, and I gave birth. I gave birth to a baby boy. The child was not up to 3 months. He fell sick and he died.
You lost the child.
I lost the child 3 months after giving birth to that child. I was angry, I was furious for the fact that I had waited for the child for a very long time and we didn't see. And that period, there was no money to even feed. The church had crumbled. People were not seeing members as we used to see. There was no money.
So when you opened that church, people were attending the church.
Yes, people were attending the church. These people don't know our past.
Okay.
They don't know how we got married. They just came and saw that we opened the church and they believed in the God in us and they always come for prayers. And my husband will pray for them and they will receive whatever they ask God for. But this time around, there was no member as before again. There was no food to eat. There was no money, and he has lost his job. I was frustrated and depressed, and he started hitting me. We were always quarreling. There was always fights. One thing or the other will happen, and he was frustrated and he started hitting me. And I left the house. This time around, I don't know what to do. I want to go back to my husband's house. I feel so bad for scattering another woman's house, and I don't know how to approach the former church or how to approach this woman. My husband will not want to take me in because of his tradition. My first husband's tradition says that when you go out of the house of your marriage and sleep with someone else, you can't come back else you perform a ritual. And the ritual is 50-50. I might lose my life, but I don't know what to do. I am confused. And my children, I love my children. I want my children back. So I'm seeking the help of outsiders and I don't know how to go about it. Please, I need your help.
My people, things dey happen o. Hey, women, my people, I no know how I take chook mouth for this matter. My people, abeg make una drop am for comment section. I believe say una don hear am for this our sister mouth. Una know say for here we no dey judge, so una don hear am for this our sister mouth how e take waka for a marriage. Now e need advice wetin e go do make we take go back to e former husband. My people, things dey happen o. Young girls out there, I believe say una will hear, una will learn for this our sister story. No break another person home. You say that home e go sweet for you. Na lie o. My people, make una drop am for comment section how una see this video. Drop your opinion, my people. Thank you for watching. Share this video.